Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Matthew Savis. I'm with the Lean Enterprise Institute, and I'm joined by Juan Bustillo from Electrolab. And very excited to introduce you to Juan. He is the Chief Transformation Officer at Electrolab Medic, a family-owned business in El Salvador that has grown to 25 retail locations, and they provide comprehensive healthcare solutions from medical equipment and diabetic care products to rehabilitation tools. They serve both individual consumers and healthcare professionals nationwide. And Juan is going to talk you through their lean journey over the past 15 years. So, with that, I will hand things over to Juan.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you and want to share some of our story and our journey in this fabulous world of lean. The title of our conversation is "Just Do It: From Obedience to Understanding" in our journey on the last 15 years. I'm the Chief Transformation Officer for Electrolab Medic. I started as a software developer. I'm a lean advocate and second generation of the family business. And our business is a combination of our retail stores of medical products like wheelchairs and canes and oxygen therapy. And we have 25 stores in El Salvador, and I put it here a small map of our country and where we're located in Central America. We're the smallest country in Central America and the Americas. And we have a division that also have the industrial part, and we work with hospitals, with most of the hospitals owned by the government and the private hospitals in El Salvador. And our business was started by my parents, and I started working just out of school, doing a lot of the software that runs our business. And I started building a lot of software and trying to solve a lot of problems with software until a time came where we had a lot of good software, but we still had a lot of problems. And in 2007, a friend of mine gave me this book from Jeffrey Likert, The Toyota Way. And the book was in my desk for a couple of months until I said, okay, well, it's time to start reading and try to change things because you're doing the same thing and getting the same results. So after reading the Toyota Way and looking deep inside Toyota history from Dr. Liker's perspective, I thought that in a country like El Salvador, a third world country, we could do a lot of what Toyota was doing because they started with very few resources and in adverse conditions. So we were building our new corporate building, and we had a lot of problems on our warehouse and logistics. So after reading the book, and then after buying the field book from this same book, I went to the logistics department and talked with all the guys there and said, okay, we have a big issue with our logistics. And all the company is looking at us and saying that we're the worst team in the whole company because we're not able to give the products on time to our customers. And the attitude of these guys was the worst in the whole company. And they were like the meanest and the baddest. And I made a commitment with them that we could work side by side and change our department and make it the best in the company. So for 3 months, we started working with some tools, 5S, try to put Kanban, try to make TWI training. And we went from the worst department in the whole company to the best department in the whole company. And the guys that work with me in this warehouse, they were first the worst people in the whole company, and then they became the most admired people in the company because they would get the job done. They would give them any task or any job and they would go and do it, just do it. Between 2008 and 2020, we brought in Sensei, uh, who told us that he knew about Lean. And we tried to put all these tools into work. But what we were seeing as that the tools would work for a couple of months, and then people would forget about what they were doing and come back to the way they were doing things at first. So we struggled for 10 years, and the family the business that was run by my parents, they would give the order that tools had to be implemented no matter what. But we were putting 5S, putting TWI, work for in different departments for 2 months, 3 months, get out of the department, and the department would fall to how we found it in the first time. So in 2021, after the pandemics, our family business came into a big shift, and we had our first change from first generation to second generation. And we broke from going out and trying to put tools to work because we were told to thinking in a way that how can we change people in order to make this thing work. So 2021, 2022, we had a hard time inside the office. Where some people, some of our family thought that Lean was not going to be good for the company. Others thought that we had to keep pushing it and try to do it no matter what. And in 2024, my small brother, he came in as the new CEO for the company. And he gave an executive order, and he was leading the charge that we should take Lean and try to implement it the correct way. So the first thing he did is in 2024, he attended the LEI Summit in California uh, with another of our team member. And when they came back with a roadmap of what we should do. And we started with tools, but it was with a different perspective. We wanted to get our people on board, not just the owners and C-level managers, but get everybody on board. And we started with small projects and small tests. One of this is in the IT department. Our server room had a lot of servers and a lot of cables. And the IT department wanted to hire a company, an outside company, in order to get the server room ordered. But we talked with them and say, why don't you do it? Why don't you learn how to do it and keep it that way? So they took the job and did it by themselves with a very small investment. And other departments started looking at this initiative of trying to put 5S. We found a lot of markers and office products that were in different desks and that were not used, a lot of inventory in all our offices. And team members by themselves started working on these 5S initiatives and trying to understand what Lean was all about. We on our maintenance facility, they started with 5S tubing systems, and we were all very happy about it. But in the end, our customer was not seeing any improvement on the service buyer side. So 2025 came and we went again to LEI Summit. And our main goal was to find help, to find someone who could guide us on this journey and try to focus all our energy in doing the things right, doing the things better. And when we came from LEI, we had already talked with the LEI folks and start talking about a project. And we started going around the basic tools, and we did our first value stream on one product and how we were purchasing it and how we were importing that product to El Salvador. And we saw that the rotation of that product in 2023 was 9.6 times a year. And after doing this value stream and involving in the process all the departments, we were able to go to a 29.7 times turnover of the inventory. So we found that we could get impressive results if we were really doing the things correctly and not just implementing tools by themselves. So here you can see a photograph of one of our stores where we have no product on our shelves, and we were struggling with our automatic replenishment systems and not understanding what was happening on our business. So, as I told you before, our inflection point was LEI Summit 2024. And on 2025, we started with our big project with LEI, which was the introduction of A3 thinking. And at first, we thought that we needed to do something big, like more value streams or more Kaizen events. And the folks at LEI were able to show us that if we did not have the A3 thinking process on our leaders, and if we did not think about the problems in a way to find the root cause and then really eliminate it and get our people to start thinking this way, the journey would be the same for the next 15 years. We would be using tools and getting small results, but not in a consistent way, in order to grow the business where we, the family and shareholders, want to get the business to. So we started on-site training with Lean Sensei from LEI. And we were able to, in the first 3 months, to get 13 people through the A3 thinking training. And we are now on the second part of this training, when the first 13 people that finish are helping the other 13 team members that are receiving this course, and teaching these fellow team members is helping us learn more about the A3 thinking process. We are very hungry to work and have this lean mindset in our company, that we started a second project. And the second project is a model team project for our retail stores. We are the leader in medical devices in El Salvador, but we see our stores as needing a boost. And the boost we first thought was to remodel the stores, to get more product in, until we saw that we needed to boost our team members. So here we started with a project to make this model team that we could replicate to all our stores and get a better service to our customers, have more trained team members in our stores, our special our team members with more knowledge on how to show the products to the customer and to understand what the customer really needs and give it uh, a better experience inside our stores. So uh, on June this year, we started with this second project for the model team. And it's been very interesting because we started in one store, and the other stores, just by seeing and talking between themselves, are starting to implement the same roadmap inside their stores and getting a small wins. But these wins have been so impressive and have made them change the way they're thinking about how they do their job on a daily basis. So with the team project, we started with TWI, from the very basic uh, task of cleaning the store, preparing the store, showing product. And then we went to the standard work. Last week we finished with the problem solving part, and we are ready for daily management on the next month that Cormac from LEI will be visiting us again and showing us how to do that. So with these two projects, we have changed our mindset from tools to changing the way that we look at problems and changing the way that we look at what is value for our customers and changing the way of how we look at our team members and seeing that the most important is how can we make an impact in their lives, showing them lean so they can make an impact on our customer. And now I can tell you that what I read in a lot of books about lean being about the people, we're living it. And this year has been very important to live that. Without our people changing the way they think, there's no lean journey. So what are we expecting to have in the near future? Right now, we're 215 employees in Electrolab Medic. We want to have 215 problem solvers. And we're very excited to what we have done in this last year. And we are very grateful for the last 15 years because all that trial and error and frustration of not being able to get the things done has taken us to where we are today. And I think that we are more conscious of what we need to do and less uh, reactive to the way of the lean thinking in our journeys, uh, taking a faster pace. So this is part of our story on the lean journey. And if there are any questions, I would be most happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Juan. That's a powerful story about the change in your business. If oh great, thanks for stopping those slides. Like Juan said, if you have questions, we do have 10 minutes for Q&A, so be sure to use that Q&A function to ask anything that's on your mind. I'll kick things off here, Juan. Was there a sort of aha moment when you realized that this new way of transformation was working compared to the previous way of going about it?
Yes, I have two aha moments. The first one was when we started trying to implement the tools from Jeffrey Liker's book. And we saw how this team, which nobody respected in our company, became a very admired team.
Hmm.
And all the five people in the team started to think and be different.
Hmm.
And company other parts of the company would ask for help, and they would be more than willing to give their help. And two, they would do the job with little waste
Hmm.
and looking to invest the not that many resources. So they were doing more with less. So that was the first aha moment that uh, put my brother and me to think that lean was what we wanted to do for a company. And the second aha moment came after the first A3 presentation that Cormac gave us.
Okay.
And what really struck on us was the soft way in which he taught. Our first sensei was a very hard guy.
Hmm.
And Cormac showed us that we can, this might sound cheesy, but you can teach with love and with patience and with a controlled voice tone,
Mm-hmm.
and show how we're doing things wrong with a lot of respect.
Hmm.
So that was our second aha moment, and that made us, and myself, that made me believe that we were on the right track and we have chosen the right partner to speed things up.
Okay. Well, as an LEI employee, I'm pleased to hear that feedback about Cormac and his method of coaching. We do have a couple of questions here from the audience. I'll start with Josh. Josh asks about kind of the path of transformation, and he's asking, is that was that important for the business to first convince yourself that transformation was possible, and then have everybody else follow? Was that a critical part of your journey?
Yes, at first, the only people convinced were my brother and I, which were the
Mm,
second generation.
mhm,
We were not able to convince our parents that we
mm,
needed to do this. They liked some tools. They didn't like the people part
okay.
because of how they control the business. But after we were given the liberty of we change management, my brother, the CEO, and I, we both were convinced that this was the way to do it. And once we were convinced, the sponsorship throughout all the business is already there.
Mm.
So yes, top management or the leader needs to be convinced.
Well, here's a follow-up from another audience member, related. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. I think the name is Ashraf. You How quickly did you see employees buy in, particularly if you were transitioning from a very different style of management? Did it take time to get people engaged in problem solving, contributing?
Yes. Uh, from the 100% of the people who started the A3 process and the learning, 30% were like, yes, this is what we want to do. This
Hmm.
is this makes totally sense to us. There's another 30 to 40% that says, okay, it's flavor of the month. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I won't talk much. I won't say nothing negative, but I want to see what really happens. And half of them will get on board. The other
Okay.
half will take some time. But there's a 30 to 20% of the company who's not wired to understand this and try to get the most of this.
Hmm. Hmm.
And we had the experience of people who were very close to us, And when we started seriously to do the A3 and the playbook, they were no, no, no. So, guys, I think I'm not ready for this.
Hmm.
And we had to respect that. And they left. And the guys who said yes, we're in, they're working hard and they're teaching other ones how to do it. So it's
That's
very interesting.
well, that's kind of what you see too. That breakdown is probably close, mirrors probably every organization that goes through this, and um, it's kind of the best way you can do it. There's going to be a certain number of people who don't want to participate, but that's okay. They can. That's okay. They can find opportunities, other opportunities. It's not necessarily a bad thing. All right, we
Yeah.
have a kind of a tough question here from Agnes. So she asks, why do you think the behavior of employees will change if in the previous 15 years it didn't happen? What is so different now?
Well, what's different now is that the shareholders of the company are all into the mindset. And
Okay.
in the last 15 years, half of the shareholders wanted to do lean. The other half said, okay, this looks nice, but we wanted to do it our way. It's worth
Hmm.
our way, so that's how we want to do it. And with our employees and our team members, what we see is once they start seeing that the leaders talk the talk and walk the walk, they have two options. They can say, okay, this is real and we're gonna
Hmm.
change, or they just say, okay, no, this is not for us. Uh, I, I, I I heard about all this stuff, and the leaders talking that they wanted to do it, but I really don't want to make this change. And what we were talking right now, it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
But the guys that are passionate, for the first time, we're seeing people passionate in all levels of our organization,
Mm.
from the very basic drivers or warehouse operators to our C-level people wearing the lean transformation t-shirt every day and trying to impact
That's
their
great.
departments and other departments, and being happy to share their experiences, and talking, some of them talking about how it was difficult for them at first to get into this, and others was easier, but we're seeing this change. And maybe today 90% of our company is with people who want to live this journey, and that
Well,
makes us very proud.
that's that's uh that's exciting when you see everybody participating, contributing. That's an exciting moment, and I think that's actually a great place to end it. We're coming up to time here. I do want to thank Juan again for participating, sharing your story with our audience, and thank you to everybody for joining here. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.